Embarrassing moments on my 600-pound life. Life at 600 pounds is a story of resilience, struggle, and unexpected moments, many of which are downright embarrassing. These moments, though often mortifying in the moment, have shaped my journey, teaching me humility, humor, and the importance of self-acceptance. Here is a recounting of some of the most embarrassing, yet ultimately enlightening, moments from my life. The first encounter, the grocery store incident. It all began innocently enough. I decided to go grocery shopping one Saturday afternoon, thinking I could handle it. As I navigated the aisles in my electric cart, I felt a sense of independence. But that independence was short-lived. While reaching for a can of soup on the top shelf, I overbalanced slightly. My cart, which had been steady moments before, suddenly lurched forward. I tried to correct it, but it was too late. I toppled into a display of canned beans, causing a loud crash that echoed through the store. People turned to stare. A few gasped, others stifled laughter. I felt my cheeks burn hotter than the summer sun outside. I struggled to straighten my cart, awkwardly knocking over more cans in the process. A store employee hurried over to help, offering a sheepish apology as I tried to brush off the embarrassment. From that day, I learned the importance of patience, both with myself and with the world's perception of my size. The hospital visit, the bathroom debacle. Hospital visits are never fun, but my most embarrassing moment there was particularly memorable. I was admitted for a routine checkup, but during a bathroom visit, things went awry. The bathroom was small, and I struggled to maneuver myself onto the toilet. As I tried to balance, I accidentally knocked over the entire roll of toilet paper, which unspooled wildly across the floor. I reached for it, only to slip and land flat on my back with a loud thud. The nurse rushed in to find me sprawled on the floor, tangled in toilet paper. I could feel my face flush with shame. She helped me up, trying to hide her own smirk, and handed me a fresh roll. I promised myself then and there to be more cautious, though, of course, I still managed to have more bathroom mishaps later. The airline saga, overbooked seats and the overweight passenger. Traveling is a challenge at any weight, but flying often turned into an adventure I'd rather forget. Once, I was booked on a flight with a tight connection. As I boarded, I realized I would need to sit in the middle seat, sandwiched between two strangers. The moment I tried to squeeze into the seat, I felt the entire row groan under the weight. The armrest popped up and nearly hit my neighbor in the face. I apologized profusely, trying to sit still, but my size made it impossible to sit comfortably. Halfway through the flight attendants announced that the seatbelt extension was unavailable. I felt my stomach drop, literally and figuratively. I had to ask the person next to me if I could borrow their belt to secure myself, which was humbling. The worst part. The looks I received from passengers, some sympathetic, others impatient. I spent the flight trying not to cry, wishing I could disappear into my seat. The restaurant faux pas, the overzealous menu. Dining out was another arena of embarrassment. Once, I visited a fancy restaurant with friends. As I looked over the menu, I realized they only had small portions that wouldn't satisfy my appetite. I asked the waiter if they had larger options. He nodded politely and suggested a few dishes. When the food arrived, I eagerly dug in, only to realize that the portions were still too small. I asked for a second round, only to be told that the kitchen only prepares limited quantities. Feeling self-conscious, I attempted to order dessert, but the waiter hesitated. I could see the pity in his eyes. My friends tried to make light of it, but I felt awkward, wishing I could just melt into the chair, the gym encounter, the treadmill that won't stop. Deciding to improve my health, I joined a local gym. My first attempt on the treadmill was a disaster. I set the speed too high, and within seconds, I was struggling to keep up. My balance wavered, and I slipped, falling forward onto the moving belt. The entire gym turned to stare as I scrambled to get up, cheeks burning with embarrassment. A trainer rushed over to help, offering words of encouragement. I left that day feeling defeated but determined to try again, though I still avoid treadmills to this day. The family gathering, the seat that broke. Family gatherings are supposed to be joyful, but mine often turned into moments of embarrassment. At a cousin's wedding, I attempted to sit in a folding chair. As I lowered myself, the chair creaked ominously. Suddenly, the legs buckled, and I landed flat on my back in front of everyone. For a moment, silence. Then, my family erupted into laughter, including some teasing about needing a sturdier chair. I laughed along, trying to brush off the humiliation. That incident reminded me that humor is often the best way to handle embarrassment. Reflection, turning embarrassment into empowerment. Each embarrassing moment, while mortifying at the time, became a lesson in self-love and resilience. They reminded me that I am more than my size, that I am capable, funny, and deserving of respect. Over time, I learned to laugh at myself, to accept my imperfections, and to focus on my journey toward health and happiness. Every stumble, fall, and awkward encounter was a step toward a better, more confident me. Final thoughts. Living on my 600-pound life has been filled with moments I wish I could erase, but they've also been moments that define my strength. Embarrassment is universal, but how we handle it makes all the difference. I choose to embrace my flaws, laugh at my mishaps, and continue moving forward, because at the end of the day, life is too precious to be weighed down by shame.